I think it's overrated and hyped, because if you see the dressing room right now, we're not bothered about, who has won how many games. What's important is to win test matches, and the more consistent we can become, the better it is for the side. So I don't think this number really matters for us. What's important is that, the last two matches we have done really well. Well, I think that's what cricket is all about. You have to be at your best. I think against England, we were not really at our best. We were not scoring enough runs. We were not putting enough runs on the board, for the bowlers to be aggressive. So I think all these things, they play a crucial part. It's not, you can't just rely on your batting or your bowling. As a unit, you have to do well. Once you score runs, automatically you'll see the bowlers, they'll bowl really well. And in other ways also, if the bowlers are bowling really well, it creeps into the batting lineup also. So I think overall we're playing really well as of now, and also the fifth bowler strategy is working. Till the time we are playing in the subcontinent, it's really working for us. But I think the wickets were good, in the sense, the problem arises if the first 2 or 2.5 days, it's really flat and nothing happens, for the spinners because, if you score maybe 100 runs extra because the wicket is really good, and if you're supposed to score the same amount of runs on the fourth or on the fifth day, the margin almost doubles. 100 run becomes 200 if you have supposed to score it on the fifth day. So, if there's some help for the spinners, that toss, that crucial factor is not there. It's like when you go abroad, you play on a wicket that's really damp. Usually you don't want toss to be really crucial, when as far as the game is concerned. So I'm quite happy with the performance also. It's not only about what kind of wickets you play in. It's also about how well the bowlers bowl and how well the batsmen they are batting. Well, what we realized was once the ball gets old, it starts to turn. That's what really happened for us in the first innings also. When the second session, there was hardly any turn for the spinners. The odd ball used to turn, but overall, that session we struggled a bit. But all of a sudden, the ball became soft, and once we came back after the tea session, we saw the spinners were able to get a bit of turn and put pressure on the opposition. So in the same way, it was important that we don't give away too many runs to the Australian side. Once they were batting in the second innings, and we were able to do that. Yesterday evening, we bowled close to 32 odd overs and gave away 72 or 73 runs. So we had runs in hand, and we're just waiting for the ball to get soft. And that's one of the reasons we wanted Ishan to bowl with the semi-new ball today, and he got us that important breakthrough. So because of that, we were able to put pressure on their batting line. Well, what's important is to realize, how he has been doing since he have, come back. Because not to forget, once big players are left out of the side and once they come back into the side, trying to cement their place, the pressure on them is much more compared to a new guy, who's coming in and trying to make a place in the side. The reason being, he has the expectation of, the amount of wickets he has taken or the amount of runs that if it's in the case of a batsman he has scored. So I think over the period in the last three test matches that he has played, he has shown improvement. He played against England when people were not really happy, and I could also not make him bowl the amount of overs I would have. But that's the case with three spinners. Often one of them will be slightly underutilized. And then the 100 test match came, so that pressure was always there on him. But what's important is to see how he has overcome from that. And I felt in Chennai's second innings he bowled really well, and over here also in this game, he has shown improvement and he's bowling in one areas which is very important. So overall, what we'll have to see is, of course, you'll have one spinner who will be the lead spinner, but when it comes to the second spinner, if you're looking for someone, we may have to choose something like horses for courses. Like the Australian side, they have lots of left-handers, and having two off spinners really helps in maintaining that. Well, the best question that often gets asked to us, before I answer that, is once we go to England or Australia, and why we don't play on sporting wickets back home in India. And it's the same for everyone. You have to realize 80% or 70% of your cricket you play in your own conditions, so you have to be good there. And then as I always say, once you go abroad, the condition is very different, and that's a challenge. That's what improves a test cricketer over a period of time. So I think the sides that have players who have toured abroad or who have played a lot of cricket abroad, for people or players from outside India, coming and playing in the subcontinent, and in the same way, players of the subcontinent, they go abroad and play. They have been able to perform quite consistently. So I feel it's still a challenge, and I feel that's what is special about Test cricket. You go abroad, you have different condition. You come to the subcontinent, the wicket becomes slow and low, and it turns for the spinners. So if everything becomes the same, Test cricket won't be so challenging. Well, I won't like to poke my nose, but I'll just like to say, screaming won't really help. So that's my only advice. And after that, I won't like to poke my nose because I feel it's a bit unfair. You need to respect your opponents, whatever situation they are in, wherever they are playing. And a bit more advice, you don't give it to the Australians because they're very competitive, and they can come back strongly into the series. So overall, I think what's important is whatever the result may be in this series, if you look at the positives, that's what I look at always. You'll have a pool of players who have played in the subcontinent, and the second time they come and play here, or they come and play in Sri Lanka or Pakistan or Bangladesh, they'll be better equipped to handle the conditions. So I think it's a win-win situation for them. It's just that you'll have to be a bit patient. I think he watches media channels too much, because that's what really happens. And what I believe in, I always say, live in the present. Of course, he has set his standards, but what's important is to enjoy what you have done, or what he has done, or what anyone has done, because no point saying, okay, you have done well in India, go out and do, then we'll judge you as a batsman. Why can't we just leave him with the kind of batting he did in this particular test match? Or yeah, he himself said it, but that's what my point of view is. We all love to comment that way, but also it's important to enjoy the moment. You have done well, just enjoy it. So that would be my suggestion to him. He'll score runs, that's a different story. It becomes tough in the sense you start questioning yourself, which happens to each and every individual. The reason being, all of us are human beings, and the only ones who can say, okay, I don't get bothered, are the ones who lie really well. Because if you go through a tough situation, it's bound to happen that you will feel the pressure, because at the end of the day, you are representing your country, you want to do well. The situation or the scenario is not really working for you, and all these things, they start to work. But it's important to be focused, get rid of the extra negative thoughts that creep in. And it's always important, if you go into bat or if you're bowling, the first few deliveries or the first few overs that you play well, after that sense of comfort comes into play. So that's what is important, because as human beings, the only reason why we are so developed is curiosity and that emotional connect, and we all feel it. Well, the people love me out here, and they've been seeing me for the last quite a few years. And the only reason I don't come up for pre-match conferences is, I would like to expose some of the other players also, what their views are when it comes to a particular series. Because frankly, like, I've turned up for a press conference right now, and I won't have anything different to say before the start of the next game. So it gives ample opportunity for somebody like a Pujara, being the performer of the game, coming before a test match and trying to say what he wants to say. Because we don't attend too many press conferences. We have restricted it to pre-match and post-match, and that really helps. It trains them how to handle media. You must be knowing it's difficult to handle Indian media, but that's what the assumption is, and I feel it should be that way. You shouldn't always call the captain, because he has nothing much to say, in each and every press conference.